Hi, it's Dwyer, keepingitfree.blogspot.com. You know, one of the reasons why the ratings for many of the very well-known news outlets, such as CNN, are down is because political correctness has made their reporting increasingly unreliable. Take, for example, what's happening right now in the presidential race. We have poll after poll after poll that has Democratic oversampling. It's politically incorrect to talk about the fact that President Obama does not enjoy a majority of white support, right? No one can really mention the fact that the current polls routinely overstate the votes of people of color. Now, let me say this. I voted for Barack Obama. I'm not a Romney supporter nor an Obama supporter this time around. But we won't get accurate polls until we're able to accurately gauge and report upon the level of white voter registration for this upcoming election and the level of white voter turnout, particularly white male turnout for this election, right? The way the story is being reported, that Mitt Romney is having a hard time attracting the votes of people of color, and that Mitt Romney is losing in polls with a 2008 voter demographic bias, right? The press, unfortunately, is not reporting an also very real story, which is that Barack Obama is having a very hard time attracting white voters, in particular white males, and that had John McCain achieved white voter turnout equal to the white voter turnout of the preceding presidential election, 2004, then he would have received 1.7 million more white votes than he did in 2008, right? When you look at the narrow gaps in the 2008 election in Indiana, Nevada, Colorado, Virginia, Ohio, Florida, and when you realize that McCain had decreased turnout, and when you factor in the reality that the Republicans have actually aggressively added new Republican registrations in states like Colorado, Nevada, Iowa, close states from 2008, then it's simply astonishing that we're not hearing more about the distinct possibility that if white voter turnout reverts to the mean, and if people of color revert to the mean in their turnout levels, then most of these recent polls are off by several percentage points, and Mitt Romney could walk away with many states, like Florida, for example, that right now are too close to call, right? The election is up in the air. The problem is just the phrase white voter turnout makes people uneasy. It sounds racist. Corporate sponsors don't want to be linked with any kind of dialogue in which it's even suggested that white voters may not favor Barack Obama. And of course, the reality is they don't, right? Majority of white voters actually favor Mitt Romney. No one wants to talk about it, not even on news outlets. And so what you're seeing really is opinion news packaged as factual news in a politically correct world where we can't even talk about real facts, even when they're highly relevant. Let me hear from you. I don't know who's going to win this presidential race, but what I do know is that most of the present polls, based on 2008 demographics, that understate possible white voter turnout are off the mark, right? We won't know the truth until Election Day. And at that time, everyone will be scrambling for some after-the-fact explanation that really should be being discussed right now. And were the truth discussed, it'd be unsettling. Why is Barack Obama so far behind with white males? Why is Barack Obama behind with white voters? Right? Is it race-based? Is it policy-based? Has it been performance-based? Aren't these big questions that we should be discussing now in the last 2 months of a presidential election? Let me hear from you. Leave your comments for me here online. Visit us at keepingitfree.blogspot.com. Thanks for watching.